We'll start with prayers. Om Ajnanatimrandasya Jnananjana Salakya Chakshurunmilitam Yana Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manopishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupagata Mahyam Dadati Sapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Yudapatakamalам Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahana Rukhanathanutam Tam Sajivam Satvayedam Savadutam Parjana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahana Lalita Shri Vishakhanyatamscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpatarubhyacha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimad Amavo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Shila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Dinamine Namaste Saraswati Gaurvani Pracharne Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pachatya Desiti Dharine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vajalam Pangam Langede Girim Yat Kripatamamande Sri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanyam Ishwaram Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayesha Patreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamasloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtikim Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanacha Nandagopagamaraya Govindaya Namo Namah Nama Pankajanabhaya Nama Pankajamalini Nama Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajankriye Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare Nath Narayana Vasudeva Hari Hari. Prabhu, 1 second, I have to connect my laptop. The charge is not so good. And I am in a new place, so I'm not sure about the PowerPoint. 1 second. Yes, please. Just one. Okay. Great. So sorry about that. So we'll read, we are reading from Canto 3, Chapter 33, verses 12 and 13 today. So we'll get into the verse number 12. Maitreya uvacha iti pradarshya bhagavan satim tam atmano gatim somatra brahmavadinya kapilo anumato yayau. One more time. Maitreya uvacha iti pradarshya bhagavan satim tam atmano gatim somatra brahmavadinya kapilo anumato yayau. So Maitreya, word by word meanings. Maitreya uvacha, Maitreya said, iti, thus, pradarshya, after instructing Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Satim, venerable, Tam, that, Atmana, of self-realization, Getim, path, Somatra, from his mother, Brahmavadinya, self-realized, Kapila, Lord Kapila, Anumata, took permission, Yayau, left. Sri Maitreya said, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Kapila, after instructing his beloved mother, took permission from her and left his home, his mission having been fulfilled. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The mission of the appearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the form of Kapila was to distribute the transcendental knowledge of Sankhya philosophy, which is full of devotional service. Having imparted that knowledge to his mother and through his mother to the world, Kapiladeva had no more need to stay at home. So he took permission from his mother and left. Apparently, he left home for spiritual realization, although he had nothing to realize spiritually because he himself is the person to be spiritually realized. Therefore, this is an example set by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, while acting like an ordinary human being, so that others might learn from him. He could, of course, have stayed with his mother, but he indicated that there was no need to stay with the family. It is best to remain alone as a brahmachari, sannyasi, or vanaprastha and cultivate Krishna consciousness throughout one's whole life. Those who are unable to remain alone are given license to live in household life with wife and children, not for sense gratification, but for cultivation of Krishna consciousness. So we are coming to the end of this section, Sankhya Yoga. Kapila Dev's teachings to Mother Devahuti. It has been so more than 12 chapters, the entire story of Mother Devahuti. Her marriage to the sage Kardama, then her Grahastha Asrama life, and the begetting after 9 daughters, giving birth to 9 daughters. He gives birth to her son Kapiladev, who as Lord Brahma has instructed, is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. To Kardama Muni, Lord Brahma spoke. At that time he said, you will obtain as the Lord as your son. So, and Mother Devahuti and sage Kardama leaves the home to undertake, in his Vanaprastha stage, he is gone, accepting the renounced order of life. So after that, Mother Devahuti feels a separation, and then she remembers what Lord Brahma said. My son is, after all, the Supreme Lord himself. So she opens her heart to him and asks for the supreme knowledge of self-realization. And we had from chapter 25 onwards, the glories of devotional service. Now we are reached chapter 33. So Kapil Dev has instructed on every topic. That is, we have been through all that. So how the living entity becomes entangled by fruitive activities, and then how by taking to devotional service to the Supreme Lord in the association of devotees, pure devotees, he can easily be relieved of the pangs of material existence. So his mission is ending. It has ended. I mean, he has instructed Mother Devahuti, and through her, through the entire world, the Sankhya Yoga philosophy, and the path of devotional service. And we have a separate book, actually, Lord Kapila's teachings. So, based on this, this entire section. So, now he is taking leave of his mother because he has given her supreme knowledge. There is no need to be afraid. And he he is not attached to living in the house anymore. So he leaves and setting an example for all the great saintly personalities who are going to, follow his path. So it's like he has given her everything, the supreme knowledge. And so he leaves. So is Mother Devahuti afraid anymore to be alone by herself? No. So she is completely established in devotional service to the Lord and completely illuminated. And how she glorifies devotional service. It is for everyone's, um, everyone's take her glorification of devotional service, encourages every living entity to come to this path, because she says one who chants the holy names of the Lord has performed all the pious activities like bathing in holy places, study of the Vedas, giving charity, everything. So this is the ultimate stage, chanting the names of Krishna and being established in devotional service. And so we can go back to chapter 25 and read all those again and again and appreciate the teachings of Kapila Dev. So now we'll go to the text 13. 13 is saying, Sa chapi tanayoktena yogadesena yogayuk tasmin asramapite saraswatiya samahitam. Sa chapi tanayoktena yogadesena yogayuk tasmin asramapite saraswatiya samahita. So, translation and purport by Stephen Gersila Prabhupada ki jai. As instructed by her son, Devahuti also began to practice Bhakti Yoga in that very asrama. She practiced Samadhi in the house of Kardama Muni, which was so beautifully decorated with flowers that it was considered the flower crown of the river Saraswati. Devahuti did not leave her house because it is never recommended for a woman to leave her home. She is dependent The very example of Devahuti was that when she was not married, she was under the care of her father, Swayambhuva Manu. And then Swayambhuva Manu gave her to Kardama Muni in charity. She was under the care of her husband in her youth, and then her son Kapila Muni was born. As soon as her son grew up, her husband left home, and similarly, the son, after discharging his duty towards his mother, also left. She could also have left home, but she did not. Rather, she remained at home and began to practice Bhakti Yoga as it was instructed by her great son Kapila Muni. And because of her practice of Bhakti Yoga, the entire home became just like a flower crown on the river Saraswati. That is so beautiful. So, so Mother Devhuti she made her own home, like a like an ashram. It was, after all, all her life illustrates how the three stages in the life of a woman. First, under the shelter of her father, Swayambhuva Manu. And then she is given in marriage to sage Kardama. And that too, Lord Brahma said to Kardama Muni, no, the Supreme Lord has come to Kardama Muni, pleased by his devotional service. And he was performing devotional service with a view to, obtaining a suitable wife to assist him in his practices, in his spiritual life. And Lord himself says, day after tomorrow, wasn't it? I forget. Swayambhu Manu will come with his daughter. Because Devahuti is so beautiful, a princess, and so full of knowledge and spiritual, spiritual knowledge. And so Sage Kardama is a suitable groom for her. So, and she is married to him, and then we know about their how Kardama Muni pleased her in her Grahastha life, and how they traveled many extensively in his. He made this the what is it called, a palace in the space, which will float and they could travel easily. That is the absolute, and which was so expansive, full of gardens, and we cannot even think in modern times something so romantic, something so opulent as Kardama Muni made for the mother, the Princess Devahuti. And she lived happily in that spaceship, and then settled down to Grahastha Ashrama, gave birth to her. So initially itself, Kardama Muni has said, as soon as the children are born, I will leave. So he is not staying behind like a ordinary material this thing, grahasthasrama couple. He's just leaving, renouncing. So then, after her giving birth to 9 daughters, and Kapila Devi is born, she nurtures her son and gives away daughters in marriage, and then she opens up to Kapila Dev, remembering Lord Brahma, how he spoke to her, that it is the Supreme Lord who will be her son. So she starts this discussion. It is just like how Krishna speaks to Arjuna in the battlefield. He is bewildered. as to what is its duty now. Um, so similarly, Mother Devhuti, after her husband left home, she is quite shaken up because all this attachment happens in family life, and she approaches, she takes shelter of Kapiladev, and Kapiladev has given total, all topics have been discussed, Sankhya Yoga, philosophy and devotional service to him. We can go back and read chapter 25, a little bit, just to remember, 25, 25. Mm. 25, 25. So, um, uh, um, Mother Devhuti says, I have taken shelter of your lotus feet because you are the only person of whom to take shelter. You are the axe which can cut the tree of material existence. I therefore offer my obeisances unto you, who are the greatest of all transcendentalists, and I inquire from you as to the relationship between man and woman and between spirit and matter. So you are my transcendental I in one of the previous verses, she says. So the personality of God had started speaking to her. And then in 25, the Lord says, in the association of pure devotees, discussion of the pastimes and activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is very pleasing and satisfying to the ear and the heart. By cultivating such knowledge, one gradually becomes advanced on the path of liberation, and thereafter he is freed and his attraction becomes fixed. Then real devotion and devotional service begin. This is the very often quoted verse. Satam prasangan mama virya samvedo bhavandi hritkarna rasayana katha tajoshanadascha taba tajoshanasु apavargavartmani sraddharetir anukramashyati. That is same as the Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Matchitta Matgada Prana Bodhayanda Paraspara Kathayandascha Mam Nitya Tushyanti Charamanti Cha. So, hearing and having discussions on the topic of the personality of Godhead, one becomes freed of the subjects of attraction to the modes of nature and becomes situated in the transcendental platform. So he says, thus by not engaging in the service of the modes of material nature, but by developing Krishna consciousness, knowledge and renunciation, and by practicing yoga, in which the mind is always fixed in devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one achieves my association in this very life, for I am the Supreme Personality, the Absolute Truth. So one becomes liberated even in this very body. So that is so complete, the understanding given by Sage Kapila. And Mother Devhuti inquires repeatedly, just like Arjuna. It's so many, all topics. I mean, the Bhagavatam is, after all, it is having many Bhagavad Gitas in it. We have this conversation between Devhuti, Mother Devhuti and Kapiladev. We have the instructions of Rishabhadev, Lord Rishabhadev to his 100 sons. We have so many Bhagavad Gitas in Bhagavatam. And the realized knowledge, that is, they become free of the material contamination totally and becomes liberated even in this very body. So her ashram is like a it's decorated with flowers and on the banks of the Saraswati. It's like even it's more than we can imagine. And so in the material life, it's not possible that kind of um, you know, it's already like in the transcendental realm she lives. So I will end here. We have only a couple of minutes, I think. Please add any questions. And now we are in the topics of Lord Nityananda, discussing the topics of Lord Nityananda, who has come to assist Lord Chaitanya's mission. And he is the incarnation of the Supreme Lord, the Guru Tattva, and full of mercy for the conditioned souls. We have the story of the Jagai and Mathai. So he is the ultimate deliverer for this age of Kali, and his appearance day is approaching. So, and today is Ekadashi. So I am so fortunate to be here and to be reading these verses. Thank you very much. Please add any questions, comments, or whatever. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. Please accept mine too. All glories to Sri.
Well, thank you for your class. I always love it. I was thinking that this point about Satam Prasangan Mama Virya Samvido, or either that Utushyanti cha Ramanti cha. Indeed, there is something magical that happens, right? Like when because I think for me during this Vyasa Puja, one of the things I had wanted to do was self-study because I usually read in a group and I was thinking it'll be nice to self-study. Just like for example, when we were in college or whatever, the training in the material education is that you study and you get good grades, right? Like there is this Kripana
Yes.
mentality
Yeah.
that we have to somehow hoard the knowledge and just for us to progress.
Yes.
But spiritual knowledge does not work that way. When we read and we share and the other person shares, there is something. It's not 1 + 1 = 2. It is 1 + 1 is something else. The math doesn't add up over there. The happiness multiplies, the
Yes.
understanding multiplies, the joy multiplies.
Yes.
uh, and yes, and so this is such a mystical, magical process.
Yes.
And the second point that I was thinking was even just like Bhagavad Gita, where the Lord had it seemingly had only one student, right? Like only
Yeah.
Arjuna. Here also, seemingly, the Lord has come to teach us Sankhya Yoga, but and the teacher student was his own mother.
Yes.
But we are all the students here. The
Yeah.
classroom is much bigger than just
Much
one-on-one
bigger.
teaching.
And it is timeless. It's going on and on.
Right.
Mm.
Right. And yeah, I mean, and even the interaction between them, the mother and son, even though he's the Supreme Lord and she's his mother,
Yeah.
there is this care and affection that's between them, and
Yes.
him taking permission from her, even those little, Bhagavatam doesn't expound, but the fact that it's there in the translation, you can see uh, we can see his heart, the Supreme Lord's
Yes. Yes. Yes.
behavior. So,
Yes.
yeah, thank you, Mataji.
Thank you
Just
so
wanted to
much.
say.
Thank you so much. You brought some sweetness into the class here by talking about. Really, I mean, they're so unreservedly and with so much respect, mother is asking. and Lord also reciprocates in such endearing and yet without and in such detail that he knows this is for all times, for the entire the universe to learn from. And you are right. When we hear from Maharaj in his classes, okay, we got it all 1 to 1. But then when discussion happens, there are so many aspects to it which I might have missed. I missed certainly this point, like that we feel. So it's always an expansion and expansion when devotees get together, and it is a never-ending happiness, actually. Because we read the Bhagavad Gita so many times and still we want to read it and keep it in the in the forefront of our mind and remember memory to remember the verses. And so what Krishna speaks is always fresh. That is and the Kapila Deva is none other than the Supreme Lord himself. And do we experience all that he tells, like Mother Devotee, like seeing my transcendental form in the temple and seeing my smiling face? And we feel, we must somehow get a drop of that experience. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Varshana Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat
Hare
Pranam. So
Krishna.
nice to hear from you, Sandhya Mataji. And you gave a detailed description of the process of aging and also how, as women, we have to lead our life also. And the line I liked is when you explained about the celestial plane that Kardama Muni created for her and their romantic trip and everything. So God gives everything age appropriate also. We have to get that kind of maturity. And when we are in the Balyam, how father will be taking care of us, and
Yeah.
what happened for her in the next level when she is with her husband and all those things, right? So aging process, like maybe I can take in the bits of like 10 years together, after 40 and after 50, after 60, how our lives should have to change. And as you said, Bhagavatam has so many parts of the Bhagavad Gita put in it, and Bhagavad Gita is in one situation, and Bhagavatam gives in different situations and different aspects of our life, and because we are passing through these situations, and we have to gain that experience at that point only, because if we get it at little early stage, we can't even understand that point.
Yes.
So we have to get that kind of maturity and that kind of experience around us. Then only we can understand the deep meaning involved in these teachings. So that is very, very wonderful, Mataji. When I hear from you, it is like actually Krishna residing, talking to me, and so much of experience, because I watch you reading Bhagavad Gita and the scriptures right in front of Krishna in the temple, and you are a great example, and you are a role model, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please.
And you said that charities you make and everything I can consider, because we are announcing your name and we went to Sri Lanka Yatra, right? I was so proud of you, and here that Sandhya Mataji's name came.
Mataji, please pray for me. I'm going to India for a couple of months, and I mean, I depend on when I'm step out of Naperville, I'm afraid.
Yes,
Please
Mataji.
pray for me, all of you, all once in a way at least remember.
I feel so secured here, mainly in Naperville. When we go outside, we need help of Krishna only, because that's what happened to me. Someone came at that time and someone took my hand and someone traveled with me, and we don't know who they are, but Krishna arranges everything. Definitely for you, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Mataji. You are so kind, and every devotee is so gracious and kind to each other. That is what nurtures our bhakti and our courage to that determination to stay on this path. This is
mainly the faith that we keep, right? That
faith, it becomes strengthened. As you say, the entire life is a journey in that path. building faith and nourishing the, yes. Yourself.
Yesterday, actually, Nitin Prabhu told how you helped him when his car was break down and he could come to the temple because of your help. I am listening to your glories everywhere, Mataji.
Oh, Lord.
Hare Krishna, Hari Bol to you. Hare Krishna,
Completely
Mataji.
humbled. Thank you so much.
Valli Mataji, you made such a sweet point. Indeed, I was thinking, we hear by here in this verse, they said, right, how Devahuti, she's showing, setting an example, how she's taking up devotional service. And we can see in real life, Sandhya Mataji, what she's doing after retirement, completely dedicated. You're setting an example for us.
Hare Krishna too. Hare Krishna. My Krishna, I would depend on your prayers when I go, I tell you, ultimately. Hare Krishna, nothing on my own. Thank you very much, Hare Krishna. I mean, when we read, we feel the sweetness carries us, and the Lord promises so much insight into Himself, and He's so endearing, and
and we encourage everyone, Mataji. That's what I say. Whoever is in this path, so try to push their.
That's all. Yes, you are yourself example. You come through so much of a health experience, everything. You come back with strength and all determination, Mataji. You are doing
the faith that God gives first, and then He gives the troubles also.
Amazing.
He doesn't give the trouble to everyone everywhere, but He gives that confidence that we can come across.
It's amazing, your story itself. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
That's wonderful. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Happy Ekadashi. Thank you, Prabhu.
And happy Pongal Sankranti to everyone also. It is a festival time for us.
Oh, really? Yes. Yes, Makara Sankranti. Yes.
It is a change of Aina. Like
Yes.
Uttarayana is coming up.
Uttarayana is coming, yes.
Yeah, we are waiting for Bhishma Deva and Bhishma Ashtami coming up, and Bhishma Ekadashi.
Wonderful day, yes.
Actually, Bhishma was waiting for this
day to pass,
come.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. It's a very, very full of merit today. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Very much. Thank you all very much. Lakshmikant Prabhu, you can end the class here today.
Yes, Mataji, thank you.
Grandra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Brahmande, Hari Hari.